I have a 2013 Ford Explorer with this like Sony touch plate interface here, and it is failing. Some of the buttons will just turn on by themselves and turn up the temperature and the fan speed while you're driving. And if you are watching this, you probably know exactly how annoying that problem is. And I could not find anything to make that stop until now, so I wanted to show you how I fixed that on mine. So first, we have to pull off this whole faceplate here. So these silver trim pieces that are just on the side, they pop off pretty easily. I use just like a flathead screwdriver to kind of go down along the side, and then I popped off the top clip first, and once that one was off, it was kind of raised a little bit, and I could just kind of like yank off each clip kind of as I went down to get the whole plastic piece off here on either side. And then next you have these 4 bolts here on the side to remove. I already have some of mine out, but it's like this top one up here and then one that's down here. The one that's down here is a little bit deep. I think I probably could have gotten it by itself, but I did have like this extension part that was helpful, so I did go ahead and use it. And the size little attachment on there that I used, let's see, it says 9/32 of an inch is what fit on mine. So then I used this, just took off the 4 bolts up here on the top, here, down here, and down here. And then once those were removed, you're just pulling off really this whole entire unit together. It was a little bit tricky to get it off, and I did break mine in the process. You can see the crack up there, and then like where a piece of plastic came off down there. But once it's all back on, I don't think either of those will be very noticeable. So I'm not too worried about it, but I kind of started down here at the bottom to kind of wiggle it loose a little bit and worked my way up at the top, which I couldn't really see, and why this broke was that there are like 2 clips right up here at the top. Let's see if I can get those that go in right there. So if you can kind of lift it up a little bit and unclip it, then you might not break yours like I did. Once this was broken, it was easy to kind of pull it back and unclip that one. But just a heads up, this whole plastic part on mine is like super brittle. That's how this cracked. Some of the like spots where it holds on the screws cracked too. So just be careful when you're pulling that out. And then once you have it all taken out, you're gonna take your piece, pull it back, and you'll see a connector back here that you're going to unplug. And if you just pinch the little bottom part and just wiggle it out, it'll be disconnected. Okay, so once you have your panel removed, there's gonna be all these little screws on the back that you are going to need to disconnect. So I got this at AutoZone. That's what fit the top there. They were actually super nice and let me use it, and we're not even going to make me pay for it, which was super nice of them. So you're gonna take all of these little screws out of the back. Mine looked like they were super stripped, so I was really nervous about being able to get these off, but they did come off pretty easily. And the guy at AutoZone actually did it for me, which was also super nice. Okay, so you're gonna remove all of these screws. My top 2 screws aren't threaded into anything. They just spin and don't come out, but I was still able to pop it off with those being in, since they weren't really connected to anything. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws here on the back that you are going to remove. Okay, so once you have all of your screws out, next there are these little clips kind of on both sides of it that you'll need to undo. And they kind of look like clips, but really like you need to lift off this top part and not like push in the tab, if that makes sense. So you're gonna lift this part up with whatever. You can use like a flathead screwdriver, anything small that you can get under there to just lift it up. Okay, so some of the clips like this one, you can see where it's kind of hard to get out, but I personally didn't worry about breaking them, so I was pretty rough with them and none of them broke. But also, even if they did break, it would be easy enough to just tape on. And again, to stop this problem from happening, I was totally fine with that. Okay, so once you have all of your clips unclipped, then you can just pull off this top piece and expose the like circuit board on the back. So there are 3 like ribbon cables on here. This one seems to control the like CD eject button. This controls the like big center volume knob. And then this one down here at the bottom controls all of these like touch responsive buttons, the ones that are causing the like malfunction. So I just popped this open. I just pushed down on this little white bar right here to kind of open it up like that, and then just gently slid out the ribbon cable from it. I popped it back in. You don't have to, but then that disables all of those touch buttons. So everything that those touch buttons does can be done on your touch screen on the car, so you can still control all of your climate and heated seats and everything like that. But these buttons now should not activate on their own. Since we left these connected, the CD eject and the big center knob all still work once you put it back together. So now we're just gonna pop the back casing on, clip it back in on all the sides. Okay, and then put your 6 screws back in. Okay, so then once you have all of your screws back on, you're gonna plug your little plate back in. If you just think, oh, let me just unplug it and then I just can't use all of these, it won't let your air conditioning and everything work afterward if you unplug this. This has to be plugged in for your like climate control to all still function. So that's why we had to take off the back panel and remove that cable inside instead. But now we're just gonna reverse the process, fitting everything back on, getting all the clips popped back in to place up here at the top, screwing back in our screws, and then popping back on the side panels, just reversing everything that you did in the beginning. Okay, so now that you have connected everything back together, you can turn your car back on and see that you can still use all of the climate control just like you could before, just through your touch screen up here at the top. So the climate section has all of the same buttons that are down here on the bottom. These buttons have been disabled, so they won't work anymore, but they also won't activate on their own, which is the important thing. Your volume knob still works. The CD eject still works. The hazard lights still work. Everything up here still works. It's just all of the buttons that are disabled. So yeah, it was super easy. It took me maybe 10 minutes total to be able to do this. I only needed to get this part from AutoZone there, and they were super nice and let me use it and weren't even going to make me buy it. They were just fine to let me use it and put it back on the shelf. And then I already had the socket, the 9/32, which I think is 7 millimeters as well, socket there. So only really 2 parts that you need to get all of this done and then solve that problem. I couldn't find really any YouTube videos or instructions for how to stop this from happening, so I figured I would just make one. So hopefully it helps you.